today I'm joined by Jasmin. She's our pastry chef at Stella at One Altitude. And today we are sharing with you our obsession with chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah. And the first one we're going to do is a favourite really of mine and I think of most people, and that's the Pavlova. But what makes this Pavlova even more interesting and special is the fact that it's a chocolate Pavlova.
True.
Okay, so first thing we start with is the egg whites. How many egg whites do we have here?
We have 4 egg whites in here, 4 number of eggs altogether. So we just start with putting a little bit of sugar in.
So why do we have the KitchenAid on a low speed?
So that the air bubbles are not added in too quickly and you have a more stable meringue. So all Pavlova need a good dose of vinegar. So we're just going to put like a teaspoon in there. Just add it in really quickly. And there you go.
Wow, that looks great.
Nice and stiff now.
Yeah, very silky and shiny.
You'll find that it's really hard as well. So now we transfer the meringue to a bowl. I have here a sifter. So I put all the cocoa powder in there. And I have a little bit of corn flour in here too. So that's 6 grams of corn flour and 30 grams of cocoa powder. So just very gently, you don't have to finish folding in everything before you put more in. So do this in about 2 or 3 stages. So right now, we're just going to do a very nice rustic shape for this.
For any Pavlova, the optimum starting temperature is 180. As soon as the Pavlova goes into the oven, we switch it down to 150. It's at 150 for about 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes, we switch it down to 130 for about another 40 minutes. So this chocolate Pavlova, actually what we call it is a blackforest chocolate Pavlova.
Yes.
So what we're going to make now is a chantilly cream, yes, flavoured with a bit of kirsch and vanilla.
Basically what we have is 250 grams of cream and about 60 grams of sugar. A little dash of vanilla essence. So this syrup here has been soaked with the cherries and kirsch. So it's a nice concentration. We'll just put 1 tablespoon in here and we'll start the whisking. Okay, so now the texture of the cream is good. So this amount would be just right for this sized Pavlova. So you don't want too much of the cream, otherwise it will just fall out.
Of course, the classic element of a black forest gâteau is the cherries, and these are some morello cherries. Then we will just sprinkle our chocolate shards. We're going to get started on our Death by Chocolate mini cakes.
Yes.
Okay, so Jasmin, talk us through it.
Okay, so we have an equal amount of chocolate and butter, so 212 grams of each. We're going to bain-marie this to melt. And in the meantime, I have 4 eggs here, split into yolks and whites. I'm going to whisk up the egg yolk first. So I have 107 grams of sugar here. I'm just going to pour everything in. And we'll start whisking this at high speed.
Okay, so the chocolate is melted with the butter.
Yes.
Do we need to let this cool down before we add the batter?
Yes, we need
Okay.
to. So we're adding the egg batter now and folding this in. So we do this really quickly because of the temperature. So the egg yolk is cold. For the next step, the egg whites would have the same amount of sugar to go with it too. So again, we'll add a little bit to start it off. So like what you can see now, it's nice and soft, kind of like a cream. So I do this by halves.
So that first half just helps loosen up the batter, yes?
Correct. Here, as you can see, it folds in really easily. Then I'll just do the second half now. And now we'll pour into springform molds.
What size are these?
These are 9 inches. So it's just right for this recipe.
So we've preheated the oven to 180 and we put them in, straight in the oven. How long are we putting them in for?
It goes in for about 25 minutes.
And so now that the cake's in the oven, we're going to make this mascarpone layer, yeah?
Correct. What we have here is the cream cheese. So we have 157 grams of this, 125 grams of mascarpone. And we have sugar here, 15 grams of this, and a teaspoon of brandy. Just gonna whisk this up so that it's homogeneous. So now that it's completely cooled down, it's easy to remove. So first off, we'll start off with some raspberry coulis. It's just raspberry and sugar. We boil it down and reduce it. The mascarpone cream that we did just now. So here we repeat the process again. So we spread the cream on top of the raspberry, and we'll put on the final layer.
Last but not least, we have the chocolate ganache.
This I chose Vahona Makai chocolate. So ganache is basically like a 50-50. So that means if you have 500 chocolate, and that's 500 cream to go with.
Okay. All right. So now we need to put this in the fridge, yeah?
Yes, and we need to let the whole thing set before we can cut it. So now we have the assembled piece, chilled and set. So we'll proceed with cutting this into mini sizes. So what I have here is a size 7 ring and a size 6 ring. The reason for the size 6 ring is so that it can help me push the cake out. Easier when you dip it in hot water, so you just put it in hot water first. And give it your all to cut this all the way through. Lift this up. And the size 6 would help you push it out. So we have some nice melted chocolate here that we're going to use for decoration. Just going to pour it into a piping bag here. And you can just get some plastic sheets. A nice firm plastic would do. So what you need to do is just to measure your mini cakes. So it's about this size. And we'll just cut this up.
So there's enough to overlap.
Correct. So after you cut a small hole in your piping bag, we'll do very simple rings. So once you've got the chocolate on this end, put it around the cake. Make sure it overlaps nicely. Have some sticky tape ready, like me, and stick it on. And there you go. So now you need to chill this, and the decoration will set together with it.
Well, these look uber cute,
Thank
especially
you.
with the little decos around the sides, which I think just anybody could do that at home.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, so these just look amazing. What a delight,
Yum.
Jasmine.
Thank
you
you.
for all your help today. You've been amazing.
Thank
An
you.
absolute feast of chocolate.